time is now 6:24 p.m. on the 17th day of June, 2014. I call this meeting of the United Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. We have present Mr. Ramiro Vélez, Mr. Ricardo Rodriguez, Juan Roberto Ramirez, Ricardo Molina, and I am Javier Montemayor. For the record, we have a quorum. Could everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, Texas Pledge, and a moment of silence.
Honor the Texas flag.
Thank you. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Agenda item number 3, board announcements. At this time, I'll allow any board members to make any announcements they wish for the public or employees to hear, which can be addressed if necessary. Mr. Vélez?
No comments at this time.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Sure, at the moment.
Well, I'd like to wish everybody a good summer, a safe summer. We have a lot of programs that are in place. There is a summer reading program that the kids can take advantage of and continue their studies. So I'd encourage everyone to take advantage, all the kids to take advantage of all the programs throughout the city and throughout our district, especially our summer breakfast and lunch programs that we have in the different schools. Agenda item number 4, public comments.
Mr. Montemayor, would you be able to move recognitions first? I know we've got some of our students here, and obviously we'd like to try to get them home first.
I have a motion to move agenda item 5
Second.
up.
Move the motion, I'm sorry.
All those in favor of moving agenda item 5 up? Unanimous, motion carries. We have recognitions. Mr.
Yes.
Santos?
Thank you, Mr. Montemayor, members of the board. It's the time of the meeting where we're able to showcase our students, our parents, and our community members. There's a lot of people that have had a lot of input and a lot of support for our schools. And if the board can join us up front, we'd like to recognize, all these students, parents, and community members that have helped us out in the news media.
Good evening, members of the board, Mr. Santos, Mr. Cruz, members of the audience, colleagues. This evening, UISD would like to recognize 3 very special gentlemen who have graciously provided collaboration and support to UISD's federal programs and migrant education special projects. Mr. Renato Ramirez, Chairman of the Board and CEO of IBC in Zapata. Mr. Ramirez, is he here? Would you please go to the front, please? Ms. Bourgoa, Ms. Bourgoa, will you accompany him, please? Mr. Ramirez, for the UISD Laredo Cares, Child Advocates for Raising Education Standards for Migrant Students, a committee that was established by Ms. Veronica Bourgoa, Migrant Coordinator for UISD in 2011, to specifically raise public awareness of the plight of migrant children farm workers and to raise scholarship funds for UISD migrant students, has very graciously supported the Laredo Cares mission, and for the last 2 years, his contributions have helped approximately 50 migrant students pay for tuition costs for higher education. Thank you, Mr. Ramirez, for your support. You make our success possible. Thank you so much. Our next honoree, Mr. Guillermo Garcia, Executive Vice President for International Department at IBC in Laredo. Mr. Garcia, today we would like to recognize you and your organization for so graciously allowing our migrant students to partake of 2 beautiful facilities that we know are hard to acquire. Thank you for your commitment and support of the UISD Migrant Education Program. For the last 20 years, IBC has afforded us the opportunity to take our migrant students to IBC's beautiful ranch in Aguilares for the annual Life Management Skills Retreat for our migrant students. breakfast and lunches provided to them. And this year, we were able to allow our students to participate at another of the beautiful facilities, Lago del Rio, and these children, without support from organizations such as yours, would not have had an opportunity to experience such wonderful facilities. They had a great motivational speaker a couple of weeks ago. Mil gracias for your graciousness year after year with these very special activities for our migrant students, Mr. Garcia. Thank you. Our next honoree, Mr. Pablo David Morales, STEM Project Director at Laredo Community College, and his staff. You may join him upstairs if you'd like, staff. As part of LCC's STEM mission to expand the number of students entering and completing STEM degrees, the LCC STEM Scholars Program partnered with the UISD Migrant Program to provide UISD students with the opportunity to participate in an inquiry-based, hands-on learning STEM experience. Over the course of 6 months, for approximately 10 Saturdays, 28 UISD middle school migrant students were engaged in a number of STEM activities conducive to individual exploration, innovation, and problem solving. This initiative allowed student mentors from the LCC MAIS, Latinos in Science and Engineering organization, to work collaboratively with UISD migrant students to design, build, and program Lego Next robots intended to help the elderly accomplish daily tasks. As per information provided by Mr. Morales' department, results from this project surpassed initial expectation and the goal to provide students with collaborative real-world STEM experiences so that they can successfully enter, participate, and complete baccalaureate degrees related to STEM pathways was met. Partnerships with higher education entities such as LCC are what helps make our success possible and students become successful and productive members of our community. Thank you for your partnership. We appreciate it. All of you, again, mil gracias. You all make a difference.
Yes. Good evening, board members and Mr. Santos. Several media entities have been named to the 2014 Media Honor Roll this evening. It's a program sponsored by the Texas Association of School Boards and United Independent School District. The Media Honor Roll recognizes media representatives statewide for fair and balanced reporting of news of public schools and telling the good news about our school district here in Laredo at United ISD. We want to thank you, all the media entities that are here, for your support throughout the school year. We couldn't do this without your help, so once again, we thank you. And at this time, we'd like to go ahead and recognize the media entities that are joining us this evening. First, from the Laredo Morning Times, if we can have our representative from Laredo Morning Times, please join us on stage. Laredo Morning Times is receiving an award, as well as the Laredo Morning Times Online and El Tiempo de Laredo. Judith Rayo is joining us this evening. Our next media entity, Greater Laredo Magazine, Raul Gutierrez. Our next media entity, Guerra Communications. Belinda Guerra, owner. We want to thank Guerra Communications for all their support throughout the year. Our next honoree, KGNS, CW, and Telemundo. Carlos Salinas, station manager, joining us this evening. Thank you. From Laredo Buzz, we have Joe Martinez. Our next honoree, Univision, Telefutura, and Fox Laredo. Jorge coming up to get that award this evening. And as all know, we had a very successful bond election, and we did want to thank the individuals who did come out in the video for the bond. And we'd like to recognize Ms. Marisa Limon, local media representative, participating in the Spanish version of our video. Sorry. Also joining us this evening is Miss Patty Kirby. She also starred in our bond video. She did the English version. Miss Kirby. Also this evening, a very popular voice that we hear every morning, Sammy the House Lemon is here from our communications. And Mark, please come up and join us here at the stage. Once again, we want to thank all the media entities here today for supporting UISD, getting the message out to our students, parents, and community. Thank you for all that you do for us. And the next honoree, Tim could not make it for the Kids Connection, but Carlos Salinas said he would gladly accept his award on his behalf. This is for the Kids Connection. And I don't see, thank you, Kids Connection, Mr. Salinas, Mr. Tim Gutierrez. And I don't see these entities here, but we did want to say thank you to City of Laredo Public Access, El Diario newspaper, El Líder, El Mañana, I Love Laredo, Rocio Moore. Could not be with us this evening, but will gladly accept her award on her behalf. Gabi Anele radio station, KHOY. Also want to say thank you to La Mega Radio for helping us throughout the year. Laredo's Journal, J. St. John and Sergio Mora, they were also very instrumental with the bond. And with that, let's give everyone a round of applause. And we'd like all our media representatives a group photo.
Good evening, honorable board members, Mr. Santos, and members of the audience. This evening we bring before you someone extremely outstanding and exceptional, a young man, a fourth grader at Alicia Ruiz Elementary School. He is Miguel Venegas. Please join us on stage, Miguel. Miguel is the first place winner of United ISD's second annual Winter Riding Olympics, the elementary division. He wrote an essay describing the many, many character traits that someone should possess to be a better person. He is joined by his principal at Ruiz Elementary, Karen Fox, the positive behavior facilitator, Laura Garcia, the gang intervention facilitator, Ms. Nina Juarez, and the discipline management facilitator, Maribel Aguilar. Congratulations, Miguel.
And we'll continue celebrating our elementary students. Good evening, members of the board, Mr. Santos, distinguished audience. It is my distinct pleasure this evening to present to you our final winners for our Math B. As you well know, we did have these three students who were honored back in April as our Elite 8. However, they persevered and we'd like to honor them at this time. In third place, from Matias de Llano, we have Alejandro Rubio. We could not stump these students, we have to create a sequel Math B, so give them a big round of applause. They did an outstanding job. In second place, congratulations goes out to, from Fortress Elementary, Juan Quiroga. And I might mention that the success runs in the family. His younger brother, Emiliano Quiroga, also placed in our junior Math B. So congratulations to the Quiroga family. And he's sitting right here. Will you stand and be recognized, Papi? Congratulations, Emiliano. Yay, we keep it in the family. Well done. And in first place, congratulations goes out to, from Colonel Santos Benavides, Ethan Caroma. Congratulations. Let's give them one more big round of applause to all our Math B winners.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Mr. Santos, and distinguished audience members. I would like to introduce to you the United South Middle School Cheer and Dance Group State Champions. They are under the direction of Ms. Claudia Hernandez, and the principal is Ms. Roylan Wilson. The United South Middle School Cheer team received the Cheer Power State Champion Advanced Level Award. Their members are Abigail Ramos, Alejandra Lumberos, Alexa Santos, Ariana Saucedo, Brianna Izaguirre, Brianna Vidauri, Cindy Garza, Claudette Reyes, Daniela Guevara, Dariana Costa, Jackie Vela, Jasmine Palmerin, Kiana Resendez, Lizzie Hernandez, Natalie Villegas, Sofia Gomez, Stephanie Soto, Susana Bryan, Tabitha Garza, Victoria Mireles, Alisa Hasso, and Amanda Inocencio. Their second group is the 2013-2014 United South Junior Steppers Dance Team. They received the American Dance State Champions Award in Kick and Jazz. Congratulations, girls. Our next group, also from United South Middle, is the Junior Steppers Dance Team. They received the American Dance State Champions Award in Kick and Jazz. Their members are Roxanne Trevino, Gabriela Cos, Cynthia Ramirez, Tammy Escobar, Sofia Mendoza, Andrea Ramirez, Victoria Castañeda, Alejandra Victorino, Amy Salinas, Brittany Martinez, Destiny Peña, Emily Nava, Erica Tames, Joanna Ramon, Janelli Ramon, Cassandra Herrera, Leslie Garza, Mónica Navarro, Vanessa Carranza, Viviana Barbosa, Cristina Izaguirre, and Cynthia Ramirez. Congratulations to both our United South Middle School Cheer and Dance teams.
Good evening, Mr. Santos, members of the board, members of the audience. This evening we have a student that earned the Microsoft Office Specialist Master Certification from United South High School Magnet. Microsoft Office Specialist is a credential that is recognized globally as a premier credential chosen by individuals seeking to validate their knowledge, skills, and abilities relating to Microsoft Office applications. Jacqueline Gonzalez, a senior at United South High School and a member of the Academy of Global Business and Advanced Technology, has achieved a superior level of computer competency. Jackie is now a certified Microsoft Office 2010 Specialist Master, a designation from Microsoft. This certification recognizes that she has reached the highest level of proficiency in the use of the entire Microsoft Office 2010 suite of programs. To be declared a Microsoft Master, Jackie had to pass 6 required exams: PowerPoint, Word, Excel, Word Expert, Excel Expert, and Outlook. We are extremely proud of Jackie's accomplishments.
Good evening, Mr. Santos, distinguished board members, family, and guests. We're here to recognize the Junior RTC Marine group that just came back from San Diego, California, competing in the physical fitness team. They're national champions again. I'm going to ask Colonel Sarah Phoenix, Master Gunnery Sergeant Rumangasa, and Master Sergeant Joselito Tejerina to please bring in. We're going to first introduce the female squad. The female squad, out of 19 groups around the nation, won first place as national champions. Brenda Avinandano is the number one cadet in the whole nation out of all the girl teams that are out there. What does this mean? Pardon me? She's the number one cadet out of the whole nation. What does this require? 100 sit-ups in 2 minutes, 60 push-ups within 2 minutes. Pull-ups is as many as you can. She did 22. The whole team did around 20, 18, 13, 10. The average is below 10. She 32. 22. They had to do a 600 meter runs and a long jump, and she did 8 feet and 4 inches. This is our number one team in the nation, folks. Give a big round of applause to our group here. Big hats off. This is their 4th time competing in San Diego, California, aside from the drill team match they've been doing since 1999. There you go, girl power, there you go. Next is our gentleman group. Our gentlemen went in and did the same thing. The requirements are the same. 100 sit-ups in 2 minutes, 60 push-ups in 2 minutes, as many pull-ups as you can do, long jump, and they run 5 600-meter runs, and they got 3rd place in the nation, and that group, they competed against 17 boys teams from across the states. And Mr. Flowers is going to the Marine. Flores, I call him Flowers, nickname, I guess. He's going to Marines next week. Good luck to you, sir. We'll see you 20 pounds lighter. A big shout out for our Marine Unit and the sponsors as well as the school administrators. Thank you very much.
Agenda item number 4, public comments. I have three for public comments. David Perez.
Mr. Perez? Perez Kevin.
Good evening, members of the board, Mr. Santos, UISD administration. For the record, my name is David Pettis. I'm the president of the United Classroom Teachers Association. On behalf of our organization, I would like to thank the Board of Trustees and Mr. Santos for your generous investment in our UISD teachers. Once again, you have shown your commitment to taking care of us not only by covering the increase in our health insurance, you have graciously provided us with this most welcome $2,000 salary increase. This has allowed UISD to attract the best teachers to teach the best students. UISD has always been in the forefront when it comes to taking care of us. We have had superior benefits and superior salaries that our sister district can't even compare with us. In the 15 years that I've had the privilege of working with UISD, I've seen many changes and advancements. I've seen good times, challenging times. The one consistent thing that I have observed, especially these last few years, Mr. Santos, is your unwavering commitment to protecting and caring for our teachers. Mr. Santos, you and this board have led us through some very tough times the last few years when we had a budget crisis. You did not reduce staff. You helped us with our health insurance. You provided us with a bonus back a couple of years ago to help us. And last year you provided us with a 6% salary increase. You did this in a fiscally responsible manner that will allow the district to continue to assist our hardworking teachers. Again, Mr. Santos, members of the board, on behalf of the United Classroom Teachers Association, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Silvia Madrid.
Buenas noches, miembros del Comité de United. Buenas noches, señor Santos. Una vez más, una vez más, vengo aquí a agradecerles todo el trabajo que hacen por nosotros y a pedirles que consideren un poco todo el trabajo que hacen en considerar los sueldos, ¿verdad? Y a pedirles que consideren un poco a los paraprofessionals. Doy las gracias por todo lo que quieren dar para nuestros compañeros y para los diferentes departamentos. Nada más que el impacto del porcentaje en los paraprofesionales es muy poco. Queremos un poquito más, si se pudiera, de porcentaje para los paraprofesionales, porque como nosotros ganamos menos, el impacto viene siendo muy poco, considerado a los empleados que ganan más dinero. Yo sé que es un trabajo muy difícil, pero igual les agradecemos todo lo que hacen por nosotros. Gracias.
Gracias, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Madrid. Mr. De la Viña, René de la Viña.
Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Santos. For the record, René de la Viña, TSTA full-time president. First, I'd like to give credit where credit is due. The United ISD board, for the record, have always been there for the employees. That's a fact. And this has been going on for many, many years. And we're really thankful. On behalf of TSTA, I'd like to thank you for always supporting when it comes to salaries and many other things. You've always been there for the employees, and I appreciate that, and I thank you in advance. Superintendent Santos también, you've always been there for the employees, and I know that starts first with the superintendent, and he makes the recommendation. And Mr. Santos, thank you. I know you've always been there for the employees. I just want to make a little comment. Just try to remember that someone that makes 80,000 at 3.5% versus someone that makes 20,000 at 3.5% is totally different. You're talking about 3,300 versus 20,000. They're making like $800, difference. And then I've heard, other arguments. Well, we have degrees. We invest in our education. We understand that. But I'm asking you to please support our support staff, those ESPs, our teachers, and all school employees, administrators, everyone. And if you can match or do even better than LISD, that would be fantastic. We'd appreciate that. And whatever you can do to help us, we're thankful. And having said that, I thank you very, very much. And on another note, I just wanted to thank this person because he's really did a great job, Mr. Juan Cruz. He's been an excellent mediator because of his professionalism and his leadership. Him and I have been able to resolve a lot of our grievance hearings because of I know he gets paid to defend the district, but he's also very fair and impartial, and I respect him for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. De La Viña. Agenda item number 6. At this time, we move consent agenda. Is there a motion in reference to the consent agenda items as listed?
Yes, the Business and Instructional Committee met on June the 10th. Make a motion to approve letter A from A to S.
Second, is there any discussion on approval of consent items as listed between A through S? And can I see a motion for approve? All those in favor? Opposed? One abstention. The motion carries.
Mr. Montemayor, members of the board, just to let you know, on the bonds, there will be a sale early next week. On that item, and Mr. Santos's office, there's going to be a special call meeting, probably the 25th of June, or at 6 p.m., or maybe the 26th, which is a Thursday of June at noon. We'll call you to see what your availability is like to basically be able to ratify the sale. All right, this is just on the bond, just to let you know that the sale will take place next week, and then we'll have a special call meeting either on the 25th or on the 26th of June, whatever your availability is. Thank you.
Thank you for that comment. Agenda item 7, items for individual consideration. Agenda item 7A, approval of minutes for month of May and June 2014. Is there a motion regarding the approval of minutes for the month of May and June 2014 as presented? There's second. There's a second. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item 7B, approval of donations.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the board, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees graciously accept the following donations. We have 3 donations over $1,000. Kennedy Zapata Elementary School received a donation of $1,000 from AEP for the purchase of accelerated reading books for the library. Colonel Santos Benavides Elementary School received a donation of $5,056.49 from various parents and PTC. United South High School Mariachi Group received a donation of $1,800 from various parents and Wells Fargo, Isabel Aguiña. And then we have several donations under $1,000, which is 7, for a grand total of $9,252.32 that we graciously thank everybody that helps our schools.
Is that it? Yes, sir. All right, is there a motion to approve the donations? There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes. Approval of item 7C, approval of RFP 2014-076, Windows, tablets, accessories, and services, and authorization to add said purchase to current lease.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Montemayor, members of the board, superintendent, and audience. A committee comprised of high school math teachers and science teachers, curriculum coordinators, technology coordinators, and administrators met on June 9th to evaluate the responses submitted for the RFP previously mentioned. This RFP is part of the mobile learning device that was presented to you all at the April board meeting by Dr. Gorordo and Ms. Benavides. And the committee has the following recommendations. For the tablets and the expansion jacket and battery to Sequel in the amount of $744,520.66. For the carts to NetSync in the amount of $35,150. And for the accidental damage protection warranty to Austin Mac Repair in the amount of $94,639.02, for a total amount to be leased of $874,309.68. The leasing company would be the leasing company that you all approved at the April board meeting, and they are honoring the same lease rate factor.
Before you all vote on it, I'd like to get Mr. David Canales to share with you a little PowerPoint, very brief, to share with you what unit it is that our employees were recommending, our teachers. Go ahead, David.
Good evening, Mr. Montemayor, board members, and Mr. Santos. I have a brief PowerPoint for you. And right now, Mr. Pettis is passing the units for your observations, and you can check it out and see what it is. But first of all, I want to let you know that yes, it's true that we did have a group of committee members that got together, which was a composite of math and science teachers from all the high schools. And we can change the next slide, whoever's doing the slides. And we met on June 9th to cover this and to meet the RFP. We did a comparison. I have a clicker? Yeah. Okay, I didn't know that. The committee, the task of the committee was to review the committee entertained presentations from Hewlett Packard and Lenovo. These were the two main companies. And of course, we got different units that we were looking at. The members had the opportunity to hear about the products, ask questions, and operate the devices. Within that, we saw tablets, which is what you have before you, a hybrid, which is a laptop and a tablet. You can detach it or you can fold it over. Then you also had a full functioning laptop. So we were able to look at the 3 units that were available, and the math and science teachers were able to play with it, ask questions. We even had the vendors drop the units on the floor, simulating if a student were to drop it to see if it met the military specs. They keep claiming that their device is durable. So we had them even drop it. Aside from the units, we also looked at the mobile learning device carts for the storage units and the warranty and the accessories. The next power I have there is basically the Elite, the demonstration of the Elite Pad unit there. Of course, you have it before you, and the jacket. What sold us on this particular unit was the durability of the battery life. And that's that jacket, that's the sleeve that you have before you. Underneath the sleeve, if you turn it up, if you turn on the bottom, you'll see there is USB cables, USB ports, HDMI ports, and so forth. So we felt that the mobility, the dual camera, the 18 hours of use, a lot of the big complaints that we heard from teachers is by the time I get to my 3rd period, the battery's already drained. So we want to make sure it's fully functional for all 5 periods. Less moving parts. We're worried about the mechanical parts as far as the wear and tear. The more moving parts you have, it's more prone for accidents. And of course, the ability for in-house field service repair, where our technicians can be trained and they can go ahead and fix it on spot. And of course, the flexibility to add the additional accessories such as a keyboard, mouse, pen drives, and HDMI cables into those things. The next thing that we voted on too, of course, was the cart. There, behind you, there is a picture of the cart. What we liked about it is that it's vertical. It's long, it's vertical, it's very mobile. It'll charge 32 units. It has an external control panel. It's front and back loading. It has a nice big roomy bay area where you can set your units. And it's a separate IT locking area, so the IT folks that we have on our campus can take care of the back end as far as wiring it, getting it nice. So that way there's no reasons for our teachers or students to be messing with the back part. Of course, we also voted on the warranty and the accessory, which is the jacket that you see that's within the sleeve of that particular unit. This is what the teachers recommended, and we want to go forward with this.
Thank you, David.
Any questions?
Any questions?
At this amount, how many units are you are you purchasing?
40?
Are these going to go one to one, or they're?
It's 966 units and 37 carts for 37 classroom teachers. Each teacher gets 25 units for the student and one for the teacher. So it's a class set of 26 in a cart.
Okay, we have item C. Is there a motion regarding the approval of RFP 2014-076, Windows, tablets, accessories, and services, and authorization to add said purchase to current lease as presented? Is that a motion? Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes. Item 7D, first and final reading of policy BD local regarding board meetings and public participation. Is there a motion regarding the approval of the first and final reading of policy BD local board meetings, public participation as presented? Motion and a second.
I think it should have been changed to 1 month. It was changed to 1 month. I think that was a request that you brought, and we moved it down to 1 month, sir.
It's on BE, that was on BE local, which was on consent agenda item. Well, it was already passed, but we can bring it back for consideration next month. Yeah, that's totally local, we can change it. But it's already been passed.
Initially, I think we had there 2 months, and I think in the discussion, you shared with us to try to lower it to 1 month that we did, but we can bring it back, sir. Yes, sir.
We have a motion to approve item 7D. There's a motion. Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. Item 7E, proposed teacher salary schedule for 2014-2015 school year and pay raise. Is there a motion regarding the approval of the proposed teacher salary schedule for the 2014-2015 school year and pay as presented?
Yes, Mr. McDermott, before you put it on the table with the teachers, I think last time we had the board meeting, we gave you a proposed budget. We went back, Ms. Benavides and San Flores were able to look at the values, additional values, we're able to find a little extra money, and our recommendation would be to start the new teachers at 46.5, and the proposed pay raise for next year for our classroom teachers is $2,500. This will allow our teachers to be competitive, obviously to pay, they're definitely worth that and more, but I think at this time we can't afford $2,500.
This is only as to teachers.
This is for the teacher pay scale, so the raise for our classroom teachers next year would be $2,500.
With that in mind, those specific, and this is starting when, Mr. Santos?
Starting for the school year 14-15.
For those
That's the new pay scale. Yeah, as soon as teachers come back for their new salary for this coming year, again, their raise will be $2,500. Our beginning pay for first year classroom teachers is $46.5. I think we can be competitive, and obviously I wish I could afford more, and I wish support could, obviously I know the board would support any additional funds for our teachers, but at this time I think $2,500 is really what we can afford, and which is a very good raise for our teachers. We're looking at the paras and the hourlies. We're looking at trying to at least go another 0.5% to move up to 4.5, and administrative. Yes. Sure. What's that one?
I arrived late to that meeting the other day, and I've got some questions.
Yes, sir.
Can we agree to, well, I'd like to move this so we can consider all the employees, teachers, and the all staff, paras, and together in one.
We can, if the board allows me to do it, absolutely. I think it'll allow us to get things rolling.
I'm not necessarily in disagreement, I'd like to.
I've got a recommendation for all positions. If the board would allow us, for us, to be quite honest, it would really expedite things for HR. It would expedite things to help our employees know what they're going to earn next year. At the same time, we do have a couple of new positions, both at the campus and district-wide. And we'll probably bring the full budget on June 30th, but I think if you allow us, we can make a recommendation tonight on all the other positions. If you allow me to make a recommendation, I'll be more than happy to do it.
Yes.
My recommendation for all administrators is 3.5. For the hourly employees and the paras, 4.5. That would be our recommendation for the pay raises. Plus, for the bus drivers, additional 50 cents. And the reason bus drivers, obviously, we got some vacancies that we need to fill. So the 50 cents is additional to the pay raises.
Don't cover the bus drivers.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Oja? Yes, additional 50 cents an hour. It's additional 50 cents an hour for our bus drivers.
And is that for employees who were employed as of June the 6th of this year?
No, this would have to be for next year, and the reason next year, obviously, as we get our funds for next year's budget, it would be for next year's budget. School year, anybody coming in after July 1, that's the new, our budget year ends on June 30th. So really, it would be effective for anybody starting to work July 1st through June 30th. So we do have any, our full-time custodians, food services that are full-time, maintenance full-time, mechanics that are full-time, or anybody that's at work July 1st will be able to benefit from these raises. Yes, sir.
Right.
On the teachers, it includes, let me come back. I think Mr. Cruz asked me a question. Our teacher pay scale, whatever the employee was earning last year, the increase is $2,500. There's no movement of steps. I mean, that's what the step raise is. So if last year we had a teacher earning $50,000, this year will be $52,500. Across the board, last year we did a little different. This year it's across the board. Whatever they were earning last year, we add $2,500 to their pay. That would be my recommendation on all the administrative pay raises.
I'd like to ask you to look into the, keep on looking like for the payroll, see what we can, in the future, we have any money there to help out them, like the bus drivers.
We can look, we're not too sure we have any additional funds. I mean, to be quite honest, I think we extended, but at the end of the day, once the full budget is approved, then we can look. But at this point, we've extended, initially we recommended to our teachers $2,000. The added $500, just for everybody's information, it's almost $1.4 million additional that we added. For the hourlies and the paras, that 0.5% is almost, I think almost 400,000 that we added to the budget. So we're trying to move as best as we can. I'm not sure whether we can extend, but if we have any additional funds, definitely we want to look at that.
No, because I know we need teachers, and we have plenty of teachers, but we need a lot of bus drivers, a lot of, that we're looking to deliver.
Well, but on the bus drivers, we're adding 50 cents an hour, additional to the pay raise. And, I think, obviously, we'd like to get more if we can, but, I mean, yes, sir, we will, yes, sir, we'll definitely look at that.
I'm gonna make a motion that we move, or we table this, at least to the end of the meeting, and go through all the other items, the closed session items, and we'll come back at the end and discuss it some more.
I make a motion to approve that.
Got a motion to table, and a second, any discussion? All those in favor? I will discuss that motion at the end of the meeting. Item 7F, approval of 2014-2015 staff position for the new transportation facility. Is there a motion regarding the approval of that item?
So move.
A motion and a second. All those in favor? Motion carries. Motion passes. Agenda item 8, closed session. The time is now 7:20 p.m. and the board will adjourn into closed session pursuant to sections 551.071, 551.074, 551.076, 551.082, 551.0821 of the Texas Government Code to discuss agenda items 8A, B, C, and D. 8, item 8, A, B, C, and D. We will be back in approximately 1 hour. Okay, we are reconvened from closed session. The time is now 8:52 p.m. The board will take appropriate action on items, if necessary, as discussed in closed session. Agenda item 9A, appointment of principal for Killam Elementary.
Yes, Mr. Montemayor and members of the board, my recommendation as principal for Killam Elementary School is Agapito Palizo Jr.
So move. Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Agenda
Thank
item
you.
9B,
The recommendation is not to take any action on Olga Vasquez, Secretary Cuskin Elementary grievance. No action at this time. That's the recommendation.
the motion to accept or the no action.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Agenda item 9C,
Recommendation is to accept the Student Disciplinary Appeals Committee recommendation regarding the expulsion appeal of student BR as discussed in closed session and under the terms discussed in closed session.
got a motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor? Motion carries.
Recommendation, agenda item 9D, is to authorize legal counsel to continue to seek reimbursement from the County of Webb regarding the bottled water expenditures as discussed in closed session.
Make a motion. Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? I'll abstain. D on that.
For agenda item 9E, there's no recommendation at this time.
Agenda item 9F, action to propose a termination of classroom teacher's term contract for good cause and authorize superintendent to send notice of the same.
Yes, Mr. Montemayor and members of the board, I recommend to propose the termination of the term contract for good cause of Janine Whitehawk and authorize superintendent to send notice of the same.
So move. Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries.
Agenda item 7E is the proposed teacher salary schedule for 2014-15 school year and the pay raise, which has not been acted on by the Board of Trustees.
Correct. Mr. Santos?
Yes, Mr. Montemayor, members of the board, members of the audience also. My recommendation for school year 14-15 effective July 1st is our beginning pay for our classroom teachers is $46,500. Our proposed pay raise for our classroom teachers is $2,500. What that means is whatever they were earning last year, you add an additional $2,500. The proposed pay raise for the administrators is 3.5. The proposed pay raises for paraprofessionals and administrators is 4.5, plus an additional 50 cents per hour for our bus drivers, and the only reason there, obviously, is we're short of bus drivers. That would be my recommendation for pay raises for next year.
Okay. I'd make a motion, the board, to accept the recommendation as proposed by Mr. Santos with the exception that the 4.5% for the paras be raised to 5%. Everything else.
So move. Second.
I got a motion and a second. All those, any discussion? All those in favor? Motion carries.
Mr. Montemayor, members of the board, on behalf of the 6,000 plus employees of United ISD, I want to thank the board, and I know Mr. Gilp is not here, Ms. Campos is not here, but for the always showing a lot of support for all the employees. I think our employees merit the raises. United ISD as a group and as a whole, we are a family, we've done well, and really want to thank our employees for what they do for our students. You know, when we have 44,000 students, probably over 67,000 parents every day, we seem to be moving forward always, and I think it's really on a tribute to our employees, all the way from the bottom lowest paid employee to the highest paid employee. We're committed, and I want to thank the employees and I want to thank the board for the support.
You're quite welcome, Mr. Santos. I know they deserve this and many other things. Of course, things has to be studied first before we approve anything. In regard to the decisions that the board makes, recommended by the administration, nothing is overlooked. Everything is looked for every detail that we need to really approve all those decisions. for the benefit of all employees of the UISD.
The
It's
last,
a family que no se acabe united.
okay, the last item, Mr. Montemayor and members of the board, we'd like to have a special call meeting Monday, June 30th. This will allow us to post in the newspaper for 10 days to approve the budget. And again, approving the salary increases. And salaries really is almost 86% of our budget. And this will allow us to move forward. And the last time before we adjourn, there's an employee, well, eventually after June 30th, he'll be an ex-employee for United. I want to thank Dr. Guadalupe Gorordo for the loyalty. And, you know, I remember hiring her as a classroom teacher, moving up, always, you know, doing an excellent job. And obviously we hate to lose her. Obviously she's going to another district as a deputy superintendent, but, you know, door will always be open. So if for some reason it doesn't work out, I mean, come back and see us. But again, I want to thank you for leading, you know, our district, especially the last years on the instruction area.
I just want to mention that this is a small token of appreciation to Dr. Gorordo. I'm pretty sure all the staff from schools and even the students to have a professional curriculum and that really guides all these teachers to teach the proper education to our kids. Thank you, Dr. Gorordo, and God bless you.
I'd like to thank Ms. Gorordo. She was one of my principals in the South, you know, did a great job. Thank you. And I'd like to thank Mr. Santos for working with us to show our people how much we appreciate you. And like I always told Mr. Santos, you know, you want to show the love, green is the love. Thank you all.
Anybody else?
Oh, I just want to thank Mr. Santos, the whole staff. I think everybody deserves a raise, and I think this should be looking good for next year. We should be pretty good. Also getting new schools. We're getting a lot of stuff, and I think United's going to grow, and it's going to look a lot better for next year. And thank you very much for doing all of the great work you all do, Ms. Gorordo. Also, thank you for the years of service that you did for us here, what you've done for our students. I wish you well. May God bless you. Thank you.
Okay. Doctor, good job and good luck on your new job, new frontier. Certainly these raises and these incentives that we've approved, Mr. Santos, allow us to remain competitive. I'm really impressed with the work that the staff has done. From the scores, you know, the scores, if you look at them, we've improved in all areas, and we're competitive across the state. So I'm really impressed. It's a well-oiled machine. From the lowest paid employee to the top, everybody has to work together.
Right.
And these raises show they merit it.
Sure. And I want to publicly thank, obviously it took a lot of people to get this budget and all these proposals. I mean, all the way from Zulia, Laida Benavides, Sam, and I know David Garcia, Patty, and her staff, Gloria, and you know, a lot of people got involved to do their share to bring a proposed balanced budget to the board, which looks, to be quite honest, good.
Okay.
Holding the tax rate, that's the other important item. We're going to hold the tax rate.
More importantly.
Yes, sir.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor? We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.